Good morning, Crystal DTF besties. So, today I'm going to make a design and I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I'm going to be doing this work in Inkscape and we started here. So, I actually had ChatGPT render this mama and I've just traced it. I kind of warped it in Photoshop and now I've traced it here. And now we're going to put some ducks. And yes, I've got a reference image I'm looking at. And I'm just putting my own version of it together. So I'm just selecting the duck and hitting apply. And I'm just going to delete the image. And I'm going to call this duck 1. Because I've got another one to bring in. So this is going to be an SVG. And then I'm just going to select the duck and hit apply. Ducks are really popular right now. I have no idea why. Maybe it's hunting. No, it's not even hunting season, but it's like just ducks everywhere. Mallard ducks. So we're going with the trends because that's what sells. So I want to put a checkerboard underneath it. So I was like, I need checkerboard blocks, black, isolated against white, be very precise. So she's going to make me some checkerboard blocks, and I'm going to pull them in and trace them in Inkscape. So I've got my blocks. I'm going to upscale them just a scotch. I just need a little more height. And I'm going to pull those open in Photoshop. This is a great example of how you can use multiple tools to achieve your results. So I just want to cut these bottom blocks off. And I want to be pretty precise about that. So I'm just going to do edit. Transform selection. Oop, nope, it's select transform selection. And I'm just going to zoom way in and I'm just going to pull this down till it's right on the top of that block. I'm a little nervous about those. No, I'm not. Just going to let that go. And I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to do Control Shift N to do a new layer. And I'm just going to paint white in that square that I've selected. Boom. All right, so now we can export this as PNG. We'll just call it whatever, it doesn't matter. And then we'll pull it in to Inkscape. Pull it in the same technique, trace. And then we'll call this Checkerboard, surprise, surprise. And we'll delete that image. And then we're going to scale it. So I'm just holding Control, and I'm going to hold Shift. Okay, so Control and Shift together are what we need to scale proportionally. And we want to just make this about the same. Just about the same as our mama. And I think I could turn on clip or something like that. Oh, Inkscape's funny. You know, if you try to. Yeah, it's just funny. I don't even know what I was going to say there. But I'll center that to the page. And I guess that's just needing a little more. I'm not sure. Is that centered? Yes. Doesn't seem centered properly. Yeah, there we go. And I mean a tiny bit more. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm just going to position one of these ducks, and I figured that would help everybody see how to do that. So I'm just going to hold Control so that it doesn't scale in a bad way, you know, it doesn't deform. And I'm just going to kind of make this like the hero duck up the top. And then I'm going to hold Control, scale this one, so it'll be a little smaller, it's a little more in the distance. And we'll put it, you know, down in here somewhere. That one might be a little too much. We just want them to be able to see our ducks. It's probably easier if I zoomed in a bit. But this is how you can have fun positioning your ducks. So we'll just throw this down here. Yeah, I think that's great. And then I'll just do some variations. So we'll just take this one and we'll duplicate it. And then we'll do edit, object, transform. Oh, it's flip horizontal. Yep. Kind of having struggles because I'm coming back from Photoshop. into my friend Inkscape here. And I'll just put this one like this, just make some placements around. And I'll just take a second and talk about general design principles. I mean, this is our hero duck. It's in the center. We can center it perfectly. And then we've got some, what you see here is like we've got a little bit of symmetry going on, but it's not perfect symmetry. We like symmetry. Humans love symmetry, but we don't like perfect symmetry. It needs to be like symmetrical but asymmetrical at the same time, and that's, I think, what we're achieving here. Now we're going to start the fun part. So we're going to put some images in these letters, and overall going with like a green color scheme. I mean, it's spring, we're doing green. It's a hunting scene sort of, so that's not going to be great, but we'll see. Let's just try. So here's the prompt: soft watercolor with a focus on the mallard in the foreground, some flying duck silhouettes in the background, reeds, water. Keep the colors green and spring-like, muted color palette. Now we're doing an image with the same prompt, just different items. Binoculars on the path, sticks and leaves, trees and branches. But we're staying in the same chat so that hopefully we'll get consistency between the images. Doing good so far. And now we're going to do a hunting rifle. I'm not a hunter. I really actually don't want to kill Bambi. I'm that guy. But I know lots of people hunt. I know it's needed. I have no problem with it, of course. Okay, so we're just going to download all 4 images. And we're going to upscale them all. I usually don't like to embed PNGs in a Inkscape document, in a vector document. It frustrates me. It's something that a lot of people do poorly, in my opinion. And I'm going to do it and kind of break my own rules. But I'm going to make sure that they're nice and big. And what constitutes nice and big? So the max size, everybody knows that I print an image is 4,500 pixels wide. So if each of these we consider to be a fourth, what is that, 2250? So I need them at least 1,000 pixels wide. And so just to be safe, I'm going to go 3,000 pixels wide, which is a little insane. I hear myself. I might just go 2,000 pixels, and that'll be a total of 8,000 for a 45. Yeah. That's probably the size I'll make it. So we're just going to select it, open. Yeah, 2,000. Okay. Select, open, upscale. You don't even have to wait for it, I don't think. I've never done this before, but I'm trying it. Boom. Okay. Now one of these, I know that I'm not happy with the positioning. And so I'm just going to pull this one with the binocs open with Photoshop. And I'm just going to take the crop and I'm going to pull this down and let generative expand fill in the scene. So sometimes this is terrible, sometimes it's great. We'll see how it goes. Not bad. Certainly enough for just a little more background image. Okay, we'll save that. Now I'm going to name all my images. So we're just going to rename each one. We're going to call this Mallard. We're going to call this one Buck. We're going to call this one Rifle. And we're going to call this one Binocs. Boom. So now before our document gets out of control, I'm going to go ahead and group these. I'm grouping the ducks. I'm putting them in a layer called ducks. And, things are just about to get a little bit busier in the document because I'm going to pull all these images in. Okay. So there's our 4 images. And I'm just going to scoot them all over out of the way for now. And we're going to do a little surgery on our mama. Okay, so this is our mama. We're going to click our edit tool. And I'm just going to select these interior vertices. So I'm selecting all the interiors. On the A's, I need to get the, the inner part and the outer part. I'm just going to hit Control A, and that's going to light everything up. And I'm going to hit Control X. So that the Control A selected all the connected nodes, or I call them vertices. I can't help myself. And then the Control X cut them, and then Control Alt V paste them in place. So this is Mama outline. Oops. And this is now Mama interior. And since I want to clip different images to these different letters, I'm actually going to separate them further. So we'll take our Mama interior and we'll do Control Shift K. And so now they're all separated. It's made all these different paths. And I'll just check this one and I'll name it M. And then I'm going to select carefully. I'm going to hold Shift and just pull up a selection. I'm not surrounding any other parts. So it's just selecting those two. And I'm going to hit Control K. I'm going to call this A. This is M. Oops. And then I could pretty much just assume these two. Control K. That's A. So what that was doing was that was joining those paths together. And that's why you couldn't see those interior parts, is because they were separated and now they're joined again so that they're showing properly. The two paths are chopping each other out and interacting with each other because they're one object again. So now I'm going to take these images and pull them out of the ducks layer. And I'm going to take these images or these paths and move them down. And then I'm just going to make all of this its own group. I'm trying. Oh, those are in ducks too. Is that possible? Hold on. No. Yep, this is working now. I can't select those other paths as well, so I'll just control click them. I was holding shift and clicking and it wasn't working. And this is Mama interior. Boom. I wish Inkscape saved the names of the images, but it doesn't. So I'm just naming them. I'll hide the one. This is the rifle. This is the buck. And this is the mallard. And this is my first M, nope, let's put that in order. So M, A, M, A. And I'm going to go mallard above the M. I'm going to go binocs above the A. I'm going to go rifle above the other A and buck above the other M. Boom, got them all organized the way I want to lay them out. I'm going to size them all down as a group. So I'll just select all my images and scale them to where they're about the right size. So quite a bit. Yep, even more. It's just going to save me some time. It's like even more. Getting close. Whoops. Selected the wrong thing. That's probably really close to where our final placement will be for all of those. Well, I'm at the final sizing. So now we'll just kind of scoot our binocs over. So I'm just holding shift. I've got binocs selected. Not sure why binocs is showing a bigger selection. It's showing, oh, I see. All of my other stuff was hidden. I didn't do what I thought I did. So I'm just Control Z in all those changes until this thing jumps back over where it was. I need to turn these on again before I can mess with them. So now let's try that same trick. We'll size them all down. Look, if you needed any more proof that I was a human and very capable of mistakes, there you have it. Really want to make sure I get those reeds in there. Whoa! Probably should have locked, you can just lock this outline and I won't make that mistake again because it's locked. Okay. And as I'm looking at this, some of these images might have to get expanded slightly to make them work. And that's okay. That's part of the process. So I've got all of them sort of roughed in. So I did some experimenting, and I actually need my M to be above the image for this to work properly. And then I select the M and then my Mallard image. And I'm just going to go to Object, Clip, Set Clip. And that's where the magic happens. And I thought I'd be able to position it more, but now when I try to move the Mallard, I can't. So it's just moving the whole interior object. So I actually need to get a little more room on this Mallard and be really careful that I position it just the way I want it before I set the clip. So we're going to do that same trick. I'm opening this up in Photoshop. And then we are going to hold Alt and go out. And we're going to give ourselves, a decent amount of room around just so that I don't get into the top or bottom of those letters trying to position things. Yeah, let's just go a lot and let it generate. And it did not do what I expected, but I actually don't mind it at all. I hope it can just stay consistent with that. I think we're going to need this on several of these. So I'm just going to bring in the buck, maybe into this same scene. No. Yeah. All right, this is my Mallard. We go with what we're given. This is Mallard. Expand. And we're going to open up the buck separately. I know the buck, I'm going to need some help, and the rifle. So I'll just do them all. Generative expand, generates. Okay, I got them all expanded. I'm just going to close Photoshop. I don't have to save anything because I always save as I go. Now I cleared out my other images to keep my document clean. And I'm just going to bring in that Mallard expanded that I just created and hit OK. And to help me position this, I'm going to change the opacity of this duck so that I can really see how it's sitting. And I'd like to go up and over because I definitely don't want to get into the duck's eye. I definitely want to get those reeds. It's kind of just a challenge. Let's get those flying ducks in the scene. Yeah. I think that's my placement. Keep kind of fighting it a little bit. We can go bigger. I'm going to get that duck's eye and its shape of its head. And it's just going to be... Yeah, I think that's nice. I got the reeds. I got my little ducks in the background, mostly filled with the water and the trees. That's my placement. So I'll go back and I'll change this opacity back up so I don't forget. And then I'm going to move the M above it. And then I'm going to set the clip. Object, clip, set clip. Wow, we're getting really close. So everything's clipped. We got all of our scene done. Now I've just created another little layer down here for palette. So we're going to choose some colors. It's always good to design in black, but then, choose your colors after you've got something done. So we're going to choose like our main, strongest foreground color. And I'm going to try to pick it off one of these greens in this image. So that's going to be like our dark green. And then I'm going to try to pick a lighter green that we can use as an accent color. And then we'll try to pick a really light, soft green. Okay. All right, so this we'll do in our main green, our middle green, sorry. This outline, let's unlock it. And we'll do that in our strong green. And then these ducks, we'll do our hero duck in this middle green. And then we'll just alternate. We'll do the soft green. And then we'll do that middle green. And then we'll do the soft green. And then we'll do that middle green. And I'm trying to decide if I like it. Sometimes you've got to walk away and decide. You know, sometimes it's good to leave and come back. I'm going to do Control-Shift-R to release selected objects so that I'm not messed up by the selection. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I think this is our final. We did it. Okay, so I'm coming up with the name. I'm saving the SVG. This is Mama Mallard Checkerboard. Oh, I'm going to call it Spring Hunting. And it may be more fall. I mean, as he leaves on the ground, but I made it in the spring, so this is what I'm calling it. All right, let's save that. And then let's look at exporting it. So this palette, we can leave it. It won't be exported, okay? And so I'm just going to switch off of this tab and come back to it. It's got the wrong path, so I'm going to close the document. Okay, closing the document, reopen it, fixed everything. And so we want to just choose our size. We want to export the page. So nothing outside, document would export, I think, the palette too. Just page. We're going to do 4500 px. We can't change the DPI here. I'm going to name it 4500 px Mike RTP and hit export. And we have one last step. We want to fix the DPI. We want to be professional. So we're going to open this up in Photoshop. Image size, turn off resample, and just set it to 300. No, I should have turned off resample. Yeah, okay, I turned it on. All right, so it's 15 by 11, 300 DPI, 4,500 pixels. We haven't actually changed anything about the image at all. And then we just go File, Save, and it'll save right back over that PNG. Hey, that's it. It's so much fun when you finish an image like this, when something you're really proud of. I love this. I'm very proud of what we did here. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being my friend. Thanks for following my tutorials. I appreciate you guys. This is Mike White with Crystal DTF signing off until the next design of the day. Take care.